I just want to ask though, like, I don't know how much a vice president pick could actually swing an election. Like, I think it's all about the people at the top of the ticket. It's about who you connect with more. But I'm just thinking, Tim Walz is brought on because you think that blue-collar Democrats are going to go for him. You think it's going to fill in a few gaps that Kamala Harris leaves. She doesn't go with Josh. If she went with Josh Shapiro instead and she, checked her ego, Josh checked his, they put together a united team, is it any different? Is it a closer election, or was Kamala always doomed to lose all the swing states?
I think she was probably always doomed just because Biden had pulled so badly in so many polls, swing state polls for so long. His administration, the Biden-Harris administration, was seen as a disaster on the withdrawal from Afghanistan, the economy, and illegal immigration at the southern border. So that was always going to be tough to overcome. I think with somebody like Shapiro, he perhaps could have helped. I mean, I think Walz was just kind of seen as an embarrassment, sort of this kind of ridiculous character who played into, Democrats being unserious and a lot of independent suburban voters just tiring with Democratic rule. But I think, more than anything, she's probably always doomed. But like the rule of thumb when picking a vice president is you don't want somebody to hurt the ticket. And I think that Tim Walz did that.
Yeah, let's move over to Kamala Harris, because there was a report in Axios this week which really piqued my attention. She's looking like a 2028 contender. I'm just going to quote here. In a swing through the Deep South, she was greeted like a rock star by enthusiastic crowds of mostly black men and women and white women. Many told Axios they wanted her to run again in 2028. Harris's appearances, like early polling for the 2028 race, defied top Democrats' belief that she isn't popular with the party's base, and the people blame her for Trump's 2024 victory. Our one top Democrat aide told Axios Kamala hasn't accepted she's not running yet. Now, if I'm, JD Vance, if I'm Marco Rubio, if I'm, to be honest, literally anyone with a Republican membership, I can't believe this headline. I cannot believe my luck. Surely she can't be thinking of running again.
I mean, yeah, Republicans are practically salivating at the mouth thinking of the prospect of a Kamala Harris nomination. I think a key, thing to remember from that Axios, or a key line to remember from that Axios article is South Carolina. Now, remember, typically New Hampshire goes first. Its state law requires that it goes first. So they held this kind of unsanctioned primary last time around. But Joe Biden essentially pressured the party into putting South Carolina at the head of its nominating process on the primary calendar because he polled really well with black voters. Kamala Harris is half black, half Indian. Obviously, black voters really like her. They want to see more of her. What's really interesting is this time around, the DNC actually just this past week got applications for first in the nation status. So it's unclear which state's going to go first, but that may, play a big factor in who's running and, how these people are going to be pitching their 2028 candidates are going to be pitching their campaigns. I think right now, genuinely, she doesn't know what she's going to do. I had a funny conversation with a former Harris advisor about 6 months ago in a green room. And they were talking about her 107 days memoir about her campaign. And so much of it, this former aide was saying is just swiping at other Democrats who didn't endorse her, weren't enthusiastic about her, and just talking about the campaign, not really putting forward a forward thinking vision for the party, which you're kind of supposed to do if you want to run for president again. I think that was puzzling to a lot of people in the Democratic Party, and a lot of people who were even close to her saw that as a missed opportunity. So I think, again, she's not sure what she's going to do, but Republicans would absolutely love her to be the nominee.
Yeah, you bring up the Joe Biden getting South Carolina up the ticket. Now, I kind of felt when Joe Biden was running, he was kind of like the Democrat machine's candidate. He's not Bernie Sanders. He's not going to do anything weird. He's our guy, and we're sort of going to tip the scales of what we can do just to make sure we get Biden over the line. Do you reckon Kamala has that pull with the Democratic apparatus? I mean, sure, this Axios report says that, maybe people don't hate her as much as we thought they did. But surely, at the top, people are going, she doesn't have it. She really hurt us in 2024. Why would we try and pull any levers to get her over the line? Aren't we better off with someone else?
I think that Democrats have a pretty strong bench in 2028. California Governor Gavin Newsom, who's making no secret that he wants to run for president. Andy Beshear, West Virginia governor, red state. Mark Kelly, a senator from purple state, Arizona. Wes Moore, a young Black Democratic governor of Maryland. That's just to name a few out of the many, many people who want to run. So I think there are a lot of donors who are just really embarrassed by the party's losses in 2024 and are going to be hesitant to give her money. I think, people are really frustrated by her and Biden. Remember, I mean, obviously Biden was such a disaster. He had to drop out of the race, but donors are so frustrated that by him and his administration that he's having a hard time even raising money to have a presidential library. Okay, that's how frustrated people are. Kamala Harris, a little bit of a different question. She was kind of saddled with the late nomination, but yeah, I think there's just going to be a lot of energy behind a lot of other candidates, so she'd struggle to get through that.
To watch a full conversation between me and Audrey, where we touch on Josh Shapiro, Tim Walz, Kamala Harris, who is going to be running in 2028, please click the link in the description below, which will take you to the full interview. And if you're not already, please subscribe to Sky News Australia so you can stay up to date with not just my videos, but all of the other videos we have here from all of our excellent commentators.